Good morning, everyone, and I'd like to welcome our esteemed Congressman, Josh Gottheimer. First of all, Congressman, thank you for visiting Bergenfield. I know this is your district, and I'd also like to express our appreciation for always been helping Bergenfield all throughout the years. And I want to thank also Superintendent Cristoli and Principal James Fasano, Assistant Principal Sue McBride, and also our Board of Education President, Dr. Amara. Welcome to Bergenfield, Congressman. Please, accept our sincerest thanks for helping Bergenfield, especially in this crisis. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, man. Thank you so much.
Let me please join me in Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Mayor. I know we're going to hear now from our great superintendent, Chris Tully, the real Chris Tully.
Thank you, Congressman, and thank you for the warm welcome, Mayor Almatorio. I'd like to thank the Congressman for coming here today to highlight a very important topic, which is the National School Lunch Program and feeding our children. In New Jersey, over 14.2% of the children are at or below the poverty line. In Bergenfield, over 31% of the students qualify for free and reduced lunch. The program has worked wonderfully here over the pandemic years. We only hope it can continue, as it made a significant impact for our students and their families. Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you so much. Thanks for what you do. I know there's two good Chris Tullys in case you're listening. Our great president of BCA does a phenomenal job, Sue McBride.
Thank you, Congressman. Thank you. Sue McBride, President of Bergen County Education Association. I'd like to echo everything that's been said. Congressman Gottheimer has been a champion on this issue. Thousands of students have been assisted in the state of New Jersey with this program, and millions across the nation. And we are so honored and pleased that Congressman Gottheimer is our very own right here in CD5. And on behalf of educators in New Jersey and Bergen County, we thank you so much, Congressman, for your support on this program, and thank you for spearheading the continuation of this very critical program in feeding our children. Thank you.
Thanks, Sue. Thanks for what you all do. Well, it's my turn, and as long as the principal says it's okay. I'm in school. The principal is okay.
It is okay.
Thanks, Principal Sato, for what you do. Assistant Principal Pagasa, thank you so much. Anthony, thank you so much for what you do with education here as the board president. Joe, thank you so much. BCA, the Bergenfield Education Association, Anthony helps run that. Sue, and of course, our school board president, Joe Amara. Thank you so much, Joe, for your leadership. And our great mayor here, who is a dear friend and a great leader in this community. Thank you so much for all you do. We're very, very grateful. It's always good to be back in Bergenfield High School. I've been here many times, right, Superintendent?
Welcome back.
It's always great to be here. The first day of school was on Tuesday. I hope all of our students and our educators across New Jersey are doing well, and I wish them all good luck with their first week back in the classroom. Here's to a great year for our students and our educators and everyone who works in the school. Sue, I know it's probably a busy week for you. A lot going on, a lot with all the educators. Although the first day of school is an exciting time, this year's first day marks the end of a program that throughout the pandemic provided school breakfast and lunch to so many children across northern New Jersey and nationwide. These children relied on these meals to get through the day without going hungry. I'm here today to make sure that no child in New Jersey ever has to sit in a classroom hungry, focused on how they might get their next meal, not on the textbook in front of them. In our upcoming government budget vote, it's critical that we reinstate key parts of the Keeping Kids Fed Act that provided universal breakfast and lunch to millions of children across our country in qualifying schools like this one. It will feed our children, avoid the massive administrative costs involved in the old program, and end the stigma around the school lunch program that has existed for far too long. Nationwide, the extension of this critical program will help feed an estimated 10 million students who need it and are often left fending for themselves under the old system, which was just reinstated this school year. Why does this matter? Too often children have to get through their day at school without the fuel they need to be active participants in the classroom. You can't propel a rocket without fuel. The same goes for a growing student. They are rockets ready to take off to a successful life and a successful career. But they won't reach their dreams without the fuel they need every single day in the tank. Unfortunately, too many of the children in northern New Jersey are now showing up at our schools with the tank reading empty. It's true. It's a nationwide problem, and we're not immune here in northern New Jersey. In fact, studies show that 3 out of 5 public school teachers say that students regularly come to school hungry. The studies and results couldn't be clearer. Hunger in the classroom leads to a decreased ability to focus, decreased physical activity, stomach aches, headaches, depression, and anxiety. And studies also show that students who skip breakfast generally make more errors, have slower memory recall, and are more likely to be absent, tardy, and repeat a grade. But for those students who do eat breakfast and lunch, we see much better performance in the classroom, and as a result, much better performance when they graduate. And students who aren't hungry have better vitamin and nutrient intake, healthier overall diets, and less susceptibility to obesity. A Tufts University study recently showed that elementary school students who eat breakfast listen better and have better spatial memory and short-term memory than students who skip breakfast. Students who eat meals at school are also less likely to be hyperactive and have fewer behavioral and attention problems than their hungry peers. So while we all can agree that healthy meals are essential to our students' access, there is a very harsh reality. We have children in North New Jersey who qualify and depend on school-provided meals, but will not be receiving them because of the existing program's bureaucratic and arbitrary red tape. As I mentioned, during the pandemic, we tried something new, something that really worked, right, as you all talked about. The federal government allowed all students to receive school-provided meals because of the serious economic situation, as long as their school district opted in. During the pandemic, I fought tooth and nail to make sure that every school in the 5th District took advantage of this program and clawed back federal dollars to Jersey for school-provided meals to help feed our children who desperately needed it. Before the pandemic, there were more than 6 million meals provided to students in need across the 5th District. During the pandemic, more than 9 million meals were provided, a substantial increase, showing that we are all capable of providing school meals for all. Last year alone, more than 200 million free meals were provided through these programs in New Jersey, more than 1.1 million every single day in schools like this one. For those who don't know, under the current system, which just went back into effect, in New Jersey, if the school district has less than 5% of students below the federal threshold, they are not required to participate in the school-provided lunch programs. If the school district has more than 20% of their students under the federal threshold, then they have to provide lunch and breakfast. Under the current red tape, though, the bureaucratic system, many kids on the cusp of the federal threshold still go hungry every day. If these rules weren't complicated enough, there's more. If the school district does hit the federal threshold of students to have the ability to offer school-provided meals under the current system, here are the rules. Families of 4 with less than $51,338 in household incomes are eligible for free and reduced school meals. But now imagine a family of 4 making just $52,000. Their child would not be eligible to receive school-provided meals. The governor is now going to raise this to $55,000. And I want to thank people like Tracy Zur and Lisa Swain, who's doing a great job fighting for this issue. But let's be honest, we've got to do more. Imagine the parents of children who are going to school for the first time and have no clue how to access school meals that their child's eligible for. They don't know which forms to fill out and how their kids qualify. And our schools have to hire people to run this bureaucracy, to figure out which families meet the threshold, get the families to fill out the proper forms, and they get penalized if they provide a meal to the wrong child. Nationwide, the administrative costs of analyzing and calculating all this and processing can cost school districts up to $100,000 a school district. That's more than $1 billion nationwide just to run this program and figure out who should get it, who shouldn't get it. And meanwhile, all these kids are going hungry. That's not a way to spend those dollars. They're being spent on positions in technology and outreach just to figure this bureaucracy out instead of actually improving our kids' education or feeding our kids. Plus, in many school districts and better off communities like this one, there's often a stigma for kids who get free and reduced cost meals and those who don't. The communities themselves don't like to admit they have children who qualify. We know this happens in so many of our northern New Jersey communities. We can't play ridiculous and complicated games with the health and futures of our children. We're wasting time and money trying to figure out which school districts qualify and which students aren't eligible, all while knowing there are children who need to be fed. And then they're stuck in this bureaucratic red tape, and then of course all these kids feel badly about themselves because some kids get it, some kids don't, and there's a stigma on it all. I don't think we should be using arbitrary statistics when it comes to health and nutrition of our children. I don't care if it's 1 or 100 kids in the school who's eligible for free school lunch or breakfast. That school should provide the meal to those hungry kids. And you tell me, and I challenge anybody, you come find me and tell me you don't think we should feed a kid who's hungry. That your kid should be able to eat and focus in school, but the kid over there shouldn't be able to get the same benefit. It's their future. How could you look at a child and say you shouldn't be fed? We have a responsibility. We've got to do something about it. The science tells us the best thing to do for our kids. We know that they will be leaders if they eat breakfast and eat lunch. They're going to be leaders in school. They'll be leaders in life. Shouldn't our schools make sure that every child can achieve his or her potential? That's why I'm here today to call for at least 1-year extension of federal school provided meals for all students, so that every child who needs it gets breakfast and lunch. This will take a financial burden off of our struggling parents, put an end to the bureaucracy and administrative costs, take away the stigma, and make sure all of our kids can perform at their highest level in school. As I mentioned, with provisions of the Keeping Kids Fed Act expiring at the start of this school year, millions of children have lost access to school-provided meals. Inaction in Congress, the partisan failure to extend the legislation, has turned this into the Keeping Kids Hungry Act. That's not what we need. We need to feed our kids. This is nothing partisan about this, as I said. I know Democrats and Republican parents agree, and it's key to our long-term competitiveness as a country, and it's the right thing to do. So I'm urging Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, and Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell to do the right thing and extend school-provided meals in their proposed budget to all qualifying schools in our upcoming government budget funding package. The nutritional needs and academic futures of our children depend upon it. It is key to our futures, and it's the right thing to do. It will put an end to pre-pandemic policies, which increase red tape and administrative costs. It will help end the stigma, and it will help our children have the fuel they need to succeed in school. So let me finally say, this change will give every child the ability to qualify for school-provided meals as long as their school district qualifies and opts into the federal meal program. It allows our students to learn with a clear mind and clear body. I'm sick and tired of hearing the excuses of why we can't feed our children and all of the claims of wasted dollars. Providing school meals for K-12 kids is the right thing to do. It's absolutely ridiculous that we don't. Our children, our students, they deserve better. So I'm ringing the bell. I'm eager to work together with all of you to make sure that no New Jersey child, no student goes hungry. My door is open. We've got some of the best schools in the country, some of the best educators in the world, providing our children the resources they need to make sure they can succeed. It's just the right thing to do here in the greatest country in the world. Thank you. I know our best days will always be ahead of us if we work together. God bless, and God bless our great country. God bless our troops.